started with the post-game press conference for the NIU Huskies following tonight's game with Buffalo. We have Husky players with us, Caleb Thornton, Anthony Crump, David Coy. We'll take questions for these guys at this time. Eddie? Matt?
Yeah, David, I just want to ask you, obviously you missed the last 3 games. How did it feel being back out there on the court tonight?
Felt great being back out playing. Obviously, it's been tough watching the last games, obviously, knowing that I could impact the game. But I feel that as soon as I came out at practice yesterday, they made me feel welcome back. I just felt great being back with the brothers.
Sure.
What was that injury, by the way?
I strained my hamstring, about a grade 1 strain. We didn't know. It was like day-to-day at first. I could barely walk, and then gradually got better, did treatment every day, and then rehab, and ice, rest, and then it's good now, though.
Nick, Caleb, how nice is it to have another guy out there that can handle the ball so you don't have to take on as much responsibility in that department?
It's been a blessing all season. Not just now, but, the whole year he's had my back. In times where I might be down or I might not have the energy, to do my job as I'm supposed to. He's always been there to pick me up. So having him back is, something that we needed going into Cleveland.
Anthony, given the high of Saturday of clinching and everything, the tournament berth, just was kind of the reaction to this game today for you guys?
Personally, I feel like we didn't really handle it well. We got to do better at learning how to win and being a winning program. Winning programs, when they clinch a playoff spot, they not too high, they're not too low about it. We got to be just like how we've been all season winning games. We got to be used to that and go in and treat it like another game. Just keep your head forward. We still had 2 games left. It wasn't like we were going to go into Cleveland right away. So we still had games left. We just had to do a better job at staying focused.
Yeah, kind of going off that last question, obviously you guys clinching tournament berth on Saturday, so congrats on that.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And then how big is it to bounce back from this game and get a win on Friday heading into the tournament?
It's huge, to be honest. Just like Ant said, we gotta handle up and downs better. Not just winning, but also losing. Just staying, like you said, staying level-headed. Obviously, it's senior night. We want to win that for the guys, first and foremost, and then we want to go into Cleveland with confidence and momentum. I think that's the biggest thing. I think if we're confident, we got momentum, and we trust in each other, we want to play anybody.
Yeah, just like Diggy said, it's our last game in. Caleb, we've been here. It's our 3rd season here, and we want to go out with a win. It might be our last. It will be our last home game here, so we want to end it off on a good note.
Yeah, much of the same. 3 years here. It's been a blessing for me to have the opportunity to play Division I basketball, have my scholarship paid for. So going out on the right note at home is important to me, just because of everything that the school has given me in terms of an opportunity that I didn't have elsewhere. So it's big going into Friday to get a win, and like they said, not just for senior night, but going into Cleveland.
Caleb, what do you think kind of has to click for you guys to avoid a performance like this, both on Friday and obviously
I live by a phrase, very simple, proper preparation prevents poor performance. So honestly, just preparation. Going into Friday, we have to lock in. Like everybody wants to, like you said, we clinched. We were picked last in the league. We were supposed to be 12th. So everybody is kind of content. It's an obvious feeling. But at the same time, we have to lock in and realize that if we want to have any momentum, we got to get this win on Friday. So.
You said it all.
That's it.
I guess that first 5 or 6 minutes of the first half, you guys kind of got off to a slow start. I think it was only 4 points in the first 5 minutes. What was Buffalo kind of doing defensively that made it difficult for you guys to score?
I don't know if they was doing anything defensively that we didn't see before. I think we just struggled coming out strong. I think that's something that we struggle with throughout the year. Some games we come out hot, some games we don't. Some games we come out playing hard, some games we just don't. So I don't think they were doing anything specifically. Credit to them. They won, they did their thing. But I think we played them before, like we've seen everything before. So I don't think they did anything differently. I just think our mentality coming out was the problem.
Hey, David, just
Yeah, one more.
You mentioned slow start, but in the second half, what was the mindset? You guys came out more aggressive, making more shots, doing anything. What was the mindset? What's the change?
The mindset was just you got to just show pride. Anytime you go on a basketball court, you got to compete. In that first half, we started off real slow, and it just looked like we didn't have any fight. We weren't competing. Like KT said, like everybody felt a little content, and we just didn't really have an edge. And at the half, we all talked about it, and we just want to go out fighting. That was it.
David, what's it mean to this group Caleb kind of alluded to there, being picked last in the league,
Yeah.
and then to go on and, tonight aside, obviously to go on and clinch like you did on Saturday. What's that mean for this group?
I think for us it meant more to the older guys. 'Cause they was here. You know what I'm saying? They was competing every game, every practice. So for me coming in, obviously, I was being underrated. I didn't really care, but it was more of a personal thing for the team, for us, for the older guys that's been here, that's been fighting. Like they said, they've been here 3 years. So just being picked 12 was like, okay, like we got something to prove, obviously. And I think it's just big that obviously that we clinched our spot, just to show people that like we here, like we gonna compete. But like they said, we just can't get content with it.
Yeah, Anthony, what was, I guess, it's the same question, just what's it like making the tournament after being picked 12?
It felt good, but I feel like that's what we're supposed to do. Everybody needs to have their mindset on making the tournament every year. But like Diggy said, it kind of added some fuel to the fire. Like, all right, they picked us 12th. Like, okay, like we know we're not a 12th place team. Like we got something to prove. So the whole year we just had a lot of grit and just play with something to prove.
I just got one more. What do you guys think you need to improve on the most for Friday's game so you can get that win and get some momentum going into the tournament in Cleveland?
KT?
Quick starts. I think the past 4 games, we've had a really good start to the game, but we also hadn't clinched in the last 4 games. So I think there's a little bit of correlation there. Guys came in a little bit loose. And I think once we start good, we give ourselves a cushion for a second half, a push from the other team. But when we're behind at the half, it doesn't do anything for us. And it doesn't do anything for us in the first 4 minutes when we score 4 points. So I think that's going to be the biggest difference with Eastern Michigan coming in on Friday.
Caleb, what's it say about this group to have, I guess, the success that you've had during that play without Keyshawn, without David for a little bit, going through the injuries that you have to still have this level of success that you guys have seen? What's it say about you guys?
A resilient group. I'll be honest, I didn't see it in us at the beginning of the year. We didn't show that, and I think they'll tell you the same. So to see guys pick up our brother like that, Keyshawn was a guy that came into practice every day, worked hard, never complained, and he had the worst injury in basketball that could happen to you outside of, other small stuff. But, for us, it was more of a picking our teammates up, picking Diggy up when he messed his hamstring up. But for us, for me personally, I'm proud of these guys as a senior. Guys who have never been in this position, guys who have never played Division I basketball have stepped up and played their best basketball in conference when it matters most. So,
Do you think you were wrong at the start of the year, or do you think that the team kind of improved or just got thrown into the fire and then stepped up when they needed to?
not to say I know everything, but I think I was right at the beginning of the season, and we just stepped up when it mattered. And you don't have confidence in something if you don't show it previously. So I was kind of a little bit skeptical, but I'm always going to go with my guys. It doesn't matter, whether we lose 1, we lose 2, we lose 3. I'm always going to be here, and I'm always going to show up and work hard. And the guys not followed me, but they followed their own intuition of that. So I'm proud of them once again, and we're not done yet. So we're not going to get complacent with this.
For sure.
Anything else?
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Have a good night.
You don't have to clean up. We'll keep on rolling. Got Coach Burno here. At the press conference, Coach, will you start us off with a statement about tonight's game?
Disappointing in our effort to start the game. We've played well to start over the last month and a half. This was the start of the game reminding us of what it was like in the early part of the season, being 12-4, 13-5. We stayed out of harm's way for a large part of the second half of the year with good starts. And tonight, I don't think we had the right mindset to go out and play against a desperate team who had a lot to play for in Buffalo. And we had a lot to play for. I thought, our immaturity, being a young program, having guys in situations they haven't been in before in regards to, having a spot already clinched for postseason. I don't think we came in with the right mindset versus a team who really was trying to establish their position in postseason play. So, lesson learned for the coaching staff, for the players, that every moment counts. Every situation that you're in, when the ball is live, you got to play hard. And I don't think we played hard for 40 minutes. I thought we probably gave about a 15 to 20 minute effort of the way we need to play to be successful. So I take responsibility. But the players, they got to self-reflect as well, and we got to be better on Friday in order to close out the regular season with the win.
Is that a concern coming into this one, that you're going to have something like this?
Yeah, absolutely. Because you got young guys, and all you can do is try to tell them what's around the corner, but sometimes they don't know until they see it. And as a guy who played the game and been in a situation, like, you can see the trappings because, everyone's feel good about what we've accomplished, and you got to be in the moment because it's an accomplishment, but it's also something that happened, right? So it's in the past. You got to be ready to deal with the presence as it happens, and I don't think we did a good job of that. I thought we had a solid prep, and, having Diggy Coit available, didn't really give us a lot of live action. So we had to rely on, film and conversation, and I don't think the message was heeded in a sense that you need to come out and you got to be ready to fight and fight for 40. I thought we fought for about 20 minutes, but when you uphill battle for a large part of the game, you leave you with nothing left when you need it. So, but I had a feeling that we didn't have the right aggression at the start of the game.
You mentioned Diggy Coit being back in the lineup. How big of a boost is that for this team? And then obviously he came off the bench tonight, so is he on any kind of minute restriction or anything like that?
No restriction. It's really a big boost because it's just another live body. It decreased minutes for certain guys, especially down the stretch run. We got to be moving upward, and minutes distribution will help that. KT has had, no rest in practice and in games for well over a month, right? So his body is beaten up, fatigue is setting in. So we got to get him some rest, and along with some of the other guys. So Diggy adds, another body, but a guy that can put the ball in a hole and a guy that needs to be accounted for from a defensive standpoint. He's one of our better players, so I'm happy that he can come out, and he came out and he played some minutes. The key for him is tomorrow. What does he look like tomorrow? How does he feel? That's going to be important for us moving forward towards Friday.
Oh, okay. Any more questions about tonight's game? Anyone?
Okay.
Go ahead.
Yeah, so you guys clinched the tournament berth on Saturday, obviously, so congratulations on that. But how important is it for you guys to bounce back and get a win on Friday against Eastern Michigan heading into the tournament?
I think it's very important for a couple fronts. One, you want to do right by the seniors who've been some has been in the program for my 2 years, and others even go back from the previous staff. So you want to win at home, and you want to send these guys off with the win, similar to what we did last year. But you also want to go into the tournament on an upward tick. You got to start. You want to feel good about what you're doing, because we're going to obviously be in a spot where we got to play, the best competition early, and it's a 3-game tournament. So you definitely want to feel good about what you're doing. And going into this game, I explained to the team, outside of tonight's performance, we were in our last 3 ball games, we led 80% of those minutes of 120, right? So there was things that we felt good about. Today was a step backwards. I don't feel good of how we performed, and I'll go back and watch film. But my first reaction is I don't think we had the right mindset to go out and compete at a high level to win a game of this magnitude. I thought we were flat. But yeah, going into the conference tournament, you always want to be in a good space physically and mentally, because it's going to be a tall task to get to Saturday night for the championship game.
But you got 1 game left, I know, but you feel that tournament kind of wide open with Cleveland right now?
Yeah, I mean, you think we've beaten teams that we have to potentially face, and we're a dangerous ball club because of the things that we can do on both ends of the ball. If we can get ourselves in the right mindset, I'm comfortable with where we are. But we got to get healthy, and we got to put in the work, and we got to be willing to listen to coaching and take care of our bodies and really focus on stuff that doesn't have anything to do with on the court. Because on the court, if we get you in the right space mentally, we can beat anyone in this league, and that's proven. But we got to be really locked into the details of what goes into winning on and off the court for us to have a really legit shot at cutting down the nets on Saturday.
What are some things you want to see from you guys in the game Friday before the tournament? Like Caleb Thornton, he had 9 assists tonight. David had success, he had 20 points. So what's some more things you want to see out of you guys?
Just toughness. Like, you got to be tough in these games. They're a bigger team, right? So I think they outweighed, and they had height at every position. You got to show grit, right? In these games, you got to be nasty. And so going into the conference tournament, you got to be willing to do the little things over and over and over again, because there's a 1-game elimination, right? It's over. So you leave nothing to chance. If it's a loose ball, you got to get it. If it's a block out, you got to do it. If it's a free throw, you got to make it. Everything matters when it's a single elimination game. And so my concern is we haven't been there before, right? Typically, our season ended before we got to Cleveland, right? So my job is to try to get these guys in that mindset to understand the magnitude of the opportunity. The opportunity is great, so you got to be locked in. And if you want to do extraordinary things, you can't be ordinary. You can't have an ordinary mindset. And so these guys got to learn that. And this is a lesson learned. Winning is great, but sometimes taking an L to get these guys refocused is important too. So I do not like teaching through losing, but I'll teach through losing, because I think Friday can get us back on track, and then anything can happen come next Thursday.
We stressed to him a lot that you have to win this thing if you want to play any more basketball.
Yeah, only thing we got guaranteed is 80 minutes. We got 80 minutes left, and we've been playing. I want to say we got together June 13th, and it's 80 minutes left, right? So that's not a lot. That's 2 nights left of actual games, right? Thursday and Friday and next Thursday. So all you got is guaranteed. That's guaranteed for the rest of the season. And some of these guys will never play again together as a unit. So trying to get these guys to understand that magnitude and putting this into perspective, we don't have a lot of time to waste and lose focus and be aloof and be, and somewhere else in the mental space. You got to be locked in, because the task at hand, you got some really good teams that are all vying to try to get the same thing, and that's to get to the NCAA tournament. So we got to be disciplined in our craft, and I think we will. I think tomorrow will be a day that these guys will reflect, and we'll watch film, and we'll do what we've done all year, try to bounce back.
You mentioned that you guys have gotten off to really good starts lately, but tonight Buffalo jumped out early. I think it was 14-4 they started off. Just kind of what went wrong in those first few minutes for you guys?
I think it was live turnovers, missed defense assignments. I thought Darwishi Hunter had a couple good looks that didn't go in. But, that's the part of the game. The one thing you can't do is not defend. All right, we didn't defend. If you go back and you look at what they shot in the first half, they shot 58 and 42 from the field. And we shot dreadful. We were 34 and 30. right? So we missed a lot of shots and we didn't get a lot of second opportunities, right? So we didn't do the things that we needed to do to get stops. And when you start okay on offense, you got to be exceptional on defense, especially with a team that leads or second tied for scoring in league play. So certain things that we got to be better at. But yet again, this is a young club. My concerns coming into the game was, do we understand the magnitude of the game? We didn't have a lot of guys who've been in this situation before, so it's a horrible way to learn. But we'll get over it. We'll watch. We'll always confront our issues. I don't run from it. We'll watch film, and then we got to put our best foot forward tomorrow.
What's it say about this team that it's persevered the way it has through the injuries?
Yeah.
Go on first tournament. I mean, tonight aside, obviously. Coy missing the last three, and obviously Keyshawn. Is he officially done for the year?
Yes, he's done.
What was his injury?
He had an ACL tear.
What's it say about this team that they, not only weathered that storm, but have succeeded to do like that?
I'm not shocked, right? And a lot of times, external expectations, right? I've never been one that subscribed to it. I knew what I had in my locker room. I knew the work that we put in, and I trust the work that we were doing would eventually play off. It was just a matter of time, and it's a testament to these guys and a testament to the program that we're going to battle every day. We'll fight to start over, and we'll have the right intentions. So internally, we had a lot of confidence that we can turn this season around. It was just, can we stay focused on what goes into winning, and can we block out the noise? And that's the most important thing when you're trying to rebuild a program, right? Adversity is a part of the game. That's life, right? No one's going to be concerned or give you an asterisk because Keyshawn is out. They're not going to play any less, right? They're going to try to knock your head off, right? So you're going to have to go out and fight, and you're going to go out and perform. And so that's how we're a battle-tested team. We're underdogs. All these guys weren't heavily recruited, so they've all been third or fourth option. So they're used to people giving up on them, right? Just believe within your locker room that you can get some stuff done and focus on what goes into winning every day and put one foot in front of the other. And the games are to be played between the lines. Every day you line up, you have an opportunity to win. And so that's been our mindset since I've taken this program. Every day we have a chance to win. You just got to be willing to do the dirty work to do it.
Do you think that that ability to persevere, especially with the team kind of has been there from the start of the year? Or do you think that that's something that, because I'll be honest, Caleb, the presser, said he didn't think at the start of the year that the team had it in him. But I'd like to, I don't want to put words in his mouth.
Yeah.
Persevere like that, I believe is about what he said. But obviously the team has well. Do you think that it's been there from the start of the year?
Yeah. My job as the head coach is to see around corners, right? Kids, they only look past their nose, right? That's just the reality of today's society of most kids, right? So, yeah, I understood that what we were doing will put us in a position to be successful. We just got to be consistent in our approach, right? The job of a head coach is to get these guys to buy in every day, and every day you got to start over because there's going to be some distraction, whether it's family, friends, girlfriends, media, social media, all telling them they're not good enough or they can't do it. So the head coach's job is to instill belief constantly, 24/7, 365 in the program. And so, yeah, I knew we had a good ball club. I said it, if you go back and listen to my press conferences prior to the season or during the season, I knew I had a good ball club. It was just a matter of time putting it all together and getting these guys to understand that as a unit we're better than we are separately as individuals. So to play team ball, defend, we'll get the season turned around. And sometimes kids don't know that. They see what's in front of them. So you got to have belief, right, and trust in the process, and I wholeheartedly believe in that. So I'm not shocked that we're in conference tournament because I knew if we just do what we needed to do and stay consistent, that we'll get there. So, but these guys have been resilient all year. They've battled. They've been put in some difficult situations, but I'm happy for them that they can go to Cleveland as seniors, and our goal is not just to get there; it's ultimately to cut down nets, and we got some work to do. but I believe we have the talent and the discipline to do it.
With Williams, do you have a chance to get a medical redshirt out of him, or is he playing pretty games?
Yeah, I haven't really looked into that. But you know, his recovery is the most important thing, and you know, compliance and I will get an opportunity to look into that. But right now, it's just, you know, he's looking fine. I mean, he's looking really well. If you saw him, you wouldn't know he had anything wrong with him. So he's been a bright spot for us, because you know, he was a really big part of what we were doing. And it just shows within the locker room, guys had the talent and the ability to step up, and they did, to turn the season around, because we were 0-2 with Central Michigan coming in when all that stuff went on with his injury. And he's not the only one. Xavier Amos, a talented freshman, you know, he's played under 5 games. You know, Yannick Niederhauser, you know, he's like, so we've had injuries to whereas I think we're almost 60-something games, 71 games guys missed all year. You know, so, but it's a resilient group. It's a testament to the program and the student athletes that we have. So, but you know, we still got work to do, and I think we still have room to improve. And I look forward to getting back to work tomorrow to teach these guys, you know, and get ready for Friday.
Well, it's frustrating when you kind of went how good this team could have been. I mean, if you would have stayed on.
Yeah, it's something that you know, eats at me, because you know, you work hard to put a roster together, and you know, you got to have. And this game is about luck too, right? You got to be lucky to keep everyone healthy. Last year I had very few injuries. This year I had an abundance of injuries. All right, so but it is what it is. I teach my guys, you know, that you got to be willing to be in the presence, and the next man step up. That's why we went out and we signed the guys that we signed. Everyone's capable of doing more. So, but yeah, it is something that, you know, plague me at times when I get into my own head. Like, man, I wonder what could have been if we had everyone healthy. But I'll never know. But you know, I'm happy with the guys who are healthy, and we'll get those guys back soon, I hope.
Anything else?
Thank you, guys.